After a comfortable night on the train, we are here spinning along from Königsberg, just arriving at Dresden, the capital of Saxony, one of Germany's most beautiful cities. We see here the court church built in Baroque style with numerous statues of saints carved in sandstone. And at no greater distance, the Zwinger, one of the finest Baroque edifices. In front of the end pavilion stands the so-called Bath of the Nymphs, with its numerous fountains and halls, some of which now contain museums. The uniform, rich Baroque style of all these buildings is due to the dominating influence of what can really be termed the mastermind of Augustus the Strong, King of Saxony from 1694 to 1733. He established Dresden's fame as a home of art and art treasures, the Florence of Germany, the city of music and famous paintings. With the beautiful surroundings today, one of the most famous cultural centers, and for that reason possibly harboring a large American colony. Crossing the river Elbe, where a boat dips its funnel to pass under a bridge, we leave Dresden and coasting along the Saale, enter Thuringia. The Rulensburg, dating from the 12th century, tells us that we are approaching Weimar, the town of Goethe and Schiller. This is the Schiller House, where the great poet lived from 1802 until his death in 1805. We have just been within, and now turn our steps to Goethe's garden house in the park of Weimar, where Professor Schreiber, with all the enthusiasm that knowledge conveys, tells us of the life of Goethe. Most impressive also was our visit to the Nietzsche Archives, which we were privileged to inspect at the invitation of Nietzsche's sister, Mrs. Förster Nietzsche. The dear old lady, who had just been called upon by the leader Hitler this day, charmingly received us there, together with Mrs. Müller, the wife of the Lord Mayor of Weimar. We say auf Wiedersehen. And with Mr. Schanz scoring one on Yale as we go along, we come to the Goethe House. Here the great poet lived and worked, and here he died. After inspection, we expectantly wait here for the Führer, Hitler, who is to pass the house on his way to Bayreuth. Like any other private individual, but of course instantly recognized, the leader, seated in front next to the driver, goes by in his car, warmly welcomed by the populace with their hands raised in the German salute. Here we have the Planetarium in Jena, where we are taken through the Zeiss works. Landing on the roof, we have occasion to test a variety of optical instruments, with Professor Coggeshall wishing to share his impressions. Later, we are welcomed at the University of Jena by Professor Esau in the aula. Inspecting the building, we have leisure to reflect on our reflection on the wall painting of Hodler entitled Kameraden aufs Pferd. We then see the house of Frommann with the inscription of Goethe tenderly recalling the days spent there, and having waxed quite professorial by now, we are interested in the wall plates on the houses typical of Jena, which bear the names of the university professors who have resided there. We repair to the marketplace where stands the statue of Markgraf Johann Friedrich, the founder of the university, O Dorothea. It is market day, and within sight of so much food, our hunger wins through, and our attention concentrates on Rostwürstchen, hot dogs from the grill, following the good example of Professor Clark and Mr. Reinhardt. On the train again. As we go along, we shoot. And shooting, we arrive at Nuremberg, its famous castle with its well-preserved fortifications, ramparts and turrets, dominating this old town of the Meistersingers. With its churches and houses, its streets and squares, flags flying to celebrate the great sports festival, Nuremberg, more than any other town, retains its medieval character. Situated in the center, in the heart of Germany, Nuremberg is the German town. Its old world charm has remained unchanged. Its very nature proclaims the essence of the German soul, and the student of history will find here the roots of German being. It is not just mere chance, therefore, that the party day of the National Socialist Party is celebrated here, and that Nuremberg, which has stood through the ages without having been ravaged and burnt or materially destroyed, is chosen as a background for that truly German festival. Special gems are the Dürer House and the ancient inn, the Bratwurstgläcklein. Gems of Nuremberg are also its fountains. The Gänsemännchen fountain, what of the sparrow? The bagpiper's fountain, cheerio, son, and the fountain of virtue. Here, the portal of Our Lady's Church with its rich Gothic ornamentations. This Gothic style, as it has been developed here in its softness and realistic beauty, gives expression to a warmth of feeling and a high desire toward the fulfillment of the ideal, which may perhaps also be termed part of the German soul. But all the true charm and character of this Gothic art is almost best revealed at night when hidden lights illuminate its wondrous loveliness.